You're scrolling Marketplace and you find a cheap jet ski. Well, it just needs a fuel pump. Just know, this is your future.
This 2005 Kawasaki STX12F may sound alright, but it's hiding a lot more issues than at first glance. After a trip out to Tampa Bay, this poor jet ski barely made it off the trailer. So it's time to find out what's going on. You may recognize the other ski from another one of my videos, and yes, this one's been waiting around on the to-do list since then. I'm finally getting around to fixing this one. It all starts with a compression test to see the overall condition. Well, not terrible, but not great. This ski is fairly high compression and should be a lot closer to 200 psi, so it's safe to assume this engine needs some work. Lucky for me, I have a problem with Marketplace, so I somehow end up with all these spare jet ski parts, including this spare engine. To save some garage space, I'm going to first fix the spare engine and then swap the old for new.
Hello, piston ring. This is an interesting brake, but I'm guessing because aluminum's softer than Nicosil, my cylinder wall might actually be all right. I'm gonna try running this thing after changing the piston, obviously. Even the cylinder head, really not too trashed. Most of this is gonna clean right up.
The cylinder is aluminum with a plating called Nicosil. It's basically the sleeve that's found in other engines. Look it up because it's pretty cool. It was even used by Porsche in the 70s. Because this is a high compression engine, these were known to have detonation issues if run on low octane fuel or just bad gas. That is likely what happened to this one. Time to see if there's any more carnage in the important bits. I do try to reuse as much as I can because all that stuff adds up. The main bearings and the crankshaft do look pretty good though, so I may reuse those. Normally you cannot hone Nicosil because it's an extremely wear-resistant plating. I'm using a dingleberry hone to just recondition the cylinder walls and clean off the carbon and maybe any bits of piston left on there. Now that it's disassembled, time to give every part a good cleaning and inspection. I'd like to reuse any pistons that I can. They will get new rings, but first I'm going to run them through the ultrasonic cleaner and see how they look. Well, I was able to save 2 pistons, a couple new ones from SBT, and now I can put it back together. Well, after inspecting the rod bearings, I decided I might as well get all new bearings for the bottom end. They are standard size and fit right in. Taking a look at the oil pump pickup / filter screen, I found the rest of the piston chunks wedged up in there. The ultrasonic cleaner works great for cleaning areas you can't easily get to with the brush. Some scuff pads and a drill make quick work of cleaning surface rust and carbon off of the valves. Now I can lap the valves in and see how well they're going to seal. Some blue dye and valve lapping compound will highlight the areas the valve seat and the valve touch. As long as it's a nice uniform ring, I can rest assured that they will seal nicely. Now just 15 more to do, and then I can reassemble the head. The intake manifold is larger and more awkward to remove than the later models. I ended up loosening all the motor mounts and then sliding the engine over to remove it. Then it's as simple as lifting it out.
See how great the cooling system is working. Really efficient. So much ocean.
It will be interesting to see what issues this engine has. My guess is rusty valve seats and maybe a few stuck piston rings. Hopefully no broken pistons like this other one.
Got to replace the through-hole bearing while the engine's out. Otherwise, not so bad. I'm gonna shortcut this with that. Out with the crusty, in with the new. And as an added bonus, I went through a small port and polish through the head. Try to do some tuning with some Win OLS to get into the computer and adjust some of the timing and airfill ratios when I get to it. Should work pretty good. Now, is this cost effective? Probably not. But it was broken either way, and it's fun to mess around with engines sometimes.
Spraying bleach and then washing out the hole with water really cleaned everything up. Now to finish the support bearing replacement. Unfortunately, the impeller and input shaft really don't want to separate. Time to get a little aggressive.
Trying to move this shaft this way, but it's stuck inside the impeller underneath the Jetski. Will not come out of the little blade there. It's just refusing to budge. It's a slip shaft, like a splined slip shaft, but I can't pull it out. Just trying to unspin the impeller off of this shaft back here, which is separate part of the jet pump. But even that doesn't want to budge. I don't know.
So after a night of sleeping on it, I need to keep it simple. I'm just going to put some constant tension on the pump with this ratchet strap and then hammer on the impeller itself and then see if it frees up.
Yay! That was fun. Awesome.